Sudan seeks economic diversification to break its reliance on oil, which currently accounts for 90% of total revenue. However, ongoing regional crisis and instability continue to negatively impact the economy. To discuss more on this, we are joined by Dr. James Alic, the Governor of Bank of South Sudan. Governor, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon to help tackle this conversation inside South Sudan's economic recovery. Let us kick off with one of the promises that you made when you got into office. You said you're going to modernize the central bank. What progress have you made on this front?
Let me say thank you very much for having me this afternoon on modernizing the bank. I can say we have made a number of steps or progress, and we are yet to cover some. On those steps that we have taken in our march toward modernizing the bank include the following. One, for the last 2 months that we have been in the office, we have invested so much in our staff from the Bank of South Sudan, and there is a market improvement that we can see. The second one is that we have followed through with the National Payment System program that is being implemented by the East African Community and funded by the African Development Bank and supported by our partners, particularly by Motran in Canada. And we are in very much advanced step by ensuring that we have a national payment system. We have also gone ahead to expand in our attempt. We have gone ahead to expand the branch network. The number of bank branches used to be very few, but for the last 2 months, we have made effort to ensure that the branch network is expanded, which will then allow us to provide financial services across the wide spectrum of our society. Along the expansion, we have also requested and engaged the commercial institution to ensure that there is a move toward electronic means of payment. And I can say there's a progress toward that. The fourth one is our effort that we have made and continue to make on promoting mobile money system. In recent years, South Sudan has followed a path that has been followed by the East African Community members, and that includes mobile money. And as of today, I can say we have 5 mobile money operators, one of which was set up in recent months, while 2 were operating before I came, and 1 was non-operational. So, in terms of what we are making to encourage mobile money payment, I'm also seeing that as a step toward ensuring modernizing the payment system. And then finally, we also continue to make significant progress on our effort to ensure the national switch.
Yes.
This is an opportunity that will allow us as a central bank to keep an eye on what the commercial banks are doing across the board. So while I cannot say all is done, we have made significant progress in relation to the things that I've just highlighted earlier in our march toward improving the national payment system.
Indeed, those are great insights that you point out there. Let us now talk about a diversification beyond oil. South Sudan heavily relies on oil revenue. How are you reducing this dependence, and what sectors are prioritized for economic diversification to achieve this long-term stability? Yes.
As a government and as a central bank, across the policy-making arena in South Sudan, there has been a tough discussion in recent months, starting in November last year, when there was a national economic conference, which focused very much on what the government can do to diversify our economy away from the oil. And with that, agriculture has been singled out as among the top list of those priorities areas. And as the farming or planting season is approaching in South Sudan, usually between May and June, the government has made effort to put some resources into agriculture bank,
yes,
which can then be used to revitalize agriculture. So agriculture is one of those areas where the government has put in more effort.
And
we are also a country blessed with abundant natural resources, especially gold and other rare minerals, and those are areas that are also among the priority list. The last 2 points are: one, investment in infrastructure. While the investment takes resources, it is also income generating because it facilitates mobility of goods and people. And in this context, the government has put so much effort to invest in infrastructure, in particular the road network and the water system. And finally, other areas where efforts continue to be made at the moment is on the tourism side of things. While the tourism market is not yet in the advanced stage, attempts are being made to look into that. Because we have seen over the years that whenever there's a conflict, oil is among the first to be affected. And as we have always indicated, when oil is affected, everything in South Sudan is affected. So therefore, moving away slowly from the oil to where the other revenue sources remain among top priorities for the government, and for which the Central Bank is supporting very much behind.
Indeed, quite a rich conversation there, which leaves us to inflation that has been on the rise in the EAC and also made it boosting regional ties. Let us leave that conversation there. So thank you so much, Dr. Garang, for joining us and contributing to this conversation. All right, quite a lot of sentiments there. Now let us move on to matters of tourism and the tourism.